I hate you.
Wow.
I hate you so much.
What?
I don't know, I just have to say that.
That's a cheat code. Roll some grape, ayy. Tastes like vino. Say we ghosts now, but we don't see them. We're gonna fall away. Awesome.
Hey, what's up, sinners? Welcome back to our channel, Epic Sinners.
Epic!
And if this is your first time here, we want to let you know that you need to go and subscribe. We upload videos every other day, 3 times a week. Today, for our first hot topic of Epic Sinners, we decided to do a discussion of Marvel versus
DC.
And by the way, I'm the DC fan and he is unfortunately the Marvel fan. DC is way better than Marvel for 3 reasons. And if you compare Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel, there is no comparison. Captain Marvel literally does nothing and gets her power from a freaking explosion of a radiator car thing. Whatever. Okay, Wonder Woman is amazing, had a story plot, and actually has legit powers because she is a half goddess, okay? Second reason why DC is better than Marvel is because Marvel has a bunch of characters, but they oftentimes fail to give us real plot lines. Take, for example, one of their key endgame characters was Black Widow, who we still don't really know anything about. You're probably thinking to yourself, how about freaking Justice League? It's not as good as Endgame or Infinity War. It's so much better than Justice League.
Or the second one.
It's my 30 seconds. My 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Justice League compared to Infinity and N-Word is an unjust comparison because that is the first collab movie that DC put together. You have to compare the first Avengers to Justice League. And when you do that, there is no competition. Just wait and see when DC puts its 5th collab movie out. It's gonna be way better than Endgame. All right, try to beat me now.
Okay, so the reason why I like Marvel is because we all grew up on it. They filmed 22 movies in continuity and formed a saga that made billions of dollars. And I like Marvel for their character development because, for instance, someone like, Black Widow, if you know her character, you know she was a KGB agent spy. No one knows her background. And has a gun and throws like a little...
That is one of my biggest problems with Marvel. Just wait and see.
Don't trust the Russians.
I feel like you're putting a case for DC, not Marvel here.
No, that's why it's good. Okay, anyway, to wrap up, I don't really have to say anything about why Marvel is better than DC in the cinematic universe because DC only literally has The Dark Knight and Wonder Woman that's been pretty darn good compared to movie after movie after movie after movie after movie that's been really good. I mean, like, how could you even argue that?
Alright, let's address the whole thing about Black Widow beating aliens. Black Widow is a regular human being. If you go back to Infinity War, where she's like, oh, hey, if you don't stop, we're gonna get you. And I'm like, really? An alien? Like, think about it. He has this powerful thing. He can blow her up to pieces, and she's all like, I'm gonna beat you. Like, no, okay? In Infinity War,
she's
like,
an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
in Infinity War, she got way too much of like, I'm so cool cut. She literally has fighting ability compared to powers. And you know what? I would give Marvel a little credit if they didn't bench like Scarlet Witch, who actually could do something. Like, she can actually blow people out of the waters, and oftentimes they choose the little human over her. So, like, I do not like War Machine. I think that, again, is another of those characters where he's just a regular human and they give him way too much time.
Okay,
and he should have died.
What about Batman? He's a regular human and he's literally pulling DC on his coattail, on his cape.
Okay, well, let's go back. Iron Man is a regular human
I'm not arguing
that
regular
is
humans.
pulling Marvel all the way to basically his funeral. Like, everyone watched Endgame for Iron Man's funeral.
The
and now
is...
they're gonna try to use Captain Marvel as the next thing that we're gonna get.
No, they're not.
Like, Captain Marvel. Well, obviously you haven't seen the end of Spider-Man.
I did. I was there with you.
Okay, so then you know that Captain Marvel is basically who they're trying to move over to. Why would they bring all the... spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'm winning.
I'm being calm and you're being all like crazy.
What's your first question?
In the realm of
quality in movies.
Okay.
I feel like people like Marvel because it makes them feel good. What is the funniest moment in a DC movie?
Ooh, I
And
like
what is
that.
the funniest moment?
Can I answer this first?
Like not a funniest moment, but like what is your most favorite funny moment in the Marvel series, and then what's your favorite funny moment in the DC?
My favorite funny moment in the DC cinematic universe is when Batman and Superman were fighting, and he's like, "Why'd you say Betty?
Betty?
Why'd you say? Yeah. Why'd
Her
you?
name is not Betty.
Whose name?
Betty.
Whose name?
His mom's name is not Betty.
What is it?
Martha.
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 There you go. Thank you.
Martha! He didn't even know. Oh!
One of my favorite funny moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is when, in the second Avengers movie, when they were making fun of Captain America because he doesn't cuss, and then Tony Stark was talking about Hulk, and he said, "Where are you at? Are you playing hide the cucumber?"
I'm just gonna say it out here. Marvel has a lot of good comedy, okay? And I think that's the only reason why most people go and watch, because they know they're gonna get a lot of humor. But if you really want to get a good humor, go watch a good comedy, okay? The point is this.
Marvel rocks.
Marvel is a lot of comedy, but let's face it, comedy can't just be the only thing that drives a real superhero movie. I believe that yes, did we have a few movies that had some cheesy lines in there? I agree. The whole Martha scene, sorry.
No, that was good.
Producer of
That was
DC,
good.
please, like, could you have thought a different way of them becoming friends? That made us look really bad, okay? But Wonder Woman had a lot of really
Wonder
fun
Woman was
jokes.
good.
Like, it's not like over the top humor, but it's just like what a conversation that normal human beings would have that is funny, okay? I think another thing about DC, if you think about it, is we're not trying to make comedy movies. The reason the Dark Knight trilogy is one of the most unarguably best trilogies ever, it's because it really produces a raw representation of how dark and yet powerful, redeeming the story of Batman can be.
But
the Joker
you know why
is
it
an
was so
unbeatable
good?
villain, okay? There are no better villains in any of the Marvel movies. Maybe Thanos comes a little close, but the Joker is the best. And it was topped off later on by the Dark Knight Rises with Bane coming in and representing him in a very awesome way with an incredible storyline twist that brought the whole movie back to Batman Begins.
Who also
There is
plays
no
Venom.
other movie in Marvel series that has a 3-part like that that's that good. Okay.
Have you seen that? Every time they would come out, there would be the top viewed thing on Netflix. Daredevil. If you talk about gritty storyline, realistic, not funny, Daredevil.
Daredevil's DC.
No, it's not.
No.
It's
Daredevil's
Marvel.
DC.
Daredevil is Marvel.
Daredevil's DC.
Go support John.
Go support John. Please put that in the video.
Oh, I'm not gonna put it.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm editing this. At this time, we're gonna do just a final statement as to why you should support our specific preference. You wanna start?
How could you not support something that went through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and is going into phase 4 with the culmination of 22 films in 10 years that are all interconnected? Just to see the brain and the minds and the planning that goes on for years down the line. That's my statement, because it's kind of baffling how these guys make everything just fit together.
My final statement as far as to why you should support DC is when you're a young kid, the first movies that you're thinking about, the first heroes you're thinking about are really not Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow. You grow up as a child thinking about Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and maybe Spider-Man. That's the only one I would give to Marvel. These are iconic characters, and yes, we are not at the 22 movie mark yet, but give us time and we'll be producing even better quality. Not to mention, we were the ones that started this whole thing with the Dark Knight series, leading the superhero phenomena, Wonder Woman leading the introduction of a powerful female character solo movie, and yes, we are still learning how to make our collabs better. Alright, Epic Sinners, that's been a video of our thoughts. Obviously, we love each other. And honestly, we both honestly do love Marvel and DC. I actually do enjoy watching all the Marvel movies, and you...
I like watching most of the DC movies. I was just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, and so honestly, we know you have a lot of opinions. If you're at Comic-Con, I'm sure you disagree with a lot of things I said. Maybe you disagreed with a lot of things he said.
Nah.
Remember, we all have opinions and we all have preferences. If you want to give us your thoughts, put them down below. Next video, we're going to bring the people to the argument. So our next video is all about what you think, whether Marvel or DC is the way to go.
Come out and see us.
And as always, don't forget that we are all sinners!